the GPI, we go in 50-50 with everything, but some people in this room here might be sceptical, and that's good because I think people should be sceptical. But I think there's a balance, and it's a very fine balance. And me and Billy are two of the biggest sceptics you'll probably meet. We could, as it says, even at previous events and stuff like that we've done, people do ask us, and people just assume that we're believers, that we just go in and we just go, oh, this place is definitely haunted, and I'm picking up on this, and we go to places sometimes and we find absolutely nothing. But as I says, I don't want you thinking that we go in and we're just a bunch of believers. That's not the way we do it. As I said before, we delve in like kind of hard facts kind of thing, and this is why we use these kind of instruments. But yeah. So just the actual content of the photograph, forget about. There is something a bit weird in the photo. My friend's he's a lecturer at Edinburgh University, and one of his students, he was telling one of his students about what we do and stuff like that, and one of the students approached him and says, listen, is there any chance I could send you this photograph? So we sent the photograph, they sent the photograph to us, we did the usual, we made sure there was nothing superimposed and anything like that, we did all that. Can you see, I'm sorry? So we did that. I don't know if you can see it at the moment, but now, the weird thing for me is, yeah, when girls go to bars and clubs and stuff like that, and they're with their friends and stuff, they might take stupid photographs, and that's cool, and that's obviously what's happened here. If that was a young boy, if that was somebody like yourself, mate, that was in that next cubicle, I would think he's just having a laugh and he's just jumped in. But that doesn't look like the clientele. I think's a bit different, you know. I don't think that guy would be in the same kind of well, I don't know, maybe. But what the girl was saying is that when she took that photo, nobody was in there, and I don't think she would have taken the photo if she'd saw the person standing in there. Because I think you'd have taken the photo and went, there's a pervert there. So, oh, it might not have been a pervert.
A man in the girls' toilet, there's a good chance.
As I say, we like to hear people's views and opinions. We don't want it, just because we say it, it's not the gospel. There's maybe a reason why, there's maybe something that we've just not picked up. I don't know how well you can see that. If you need to come closer, just go closer if you want me to move the laptop up or down or anything like that. But it's basically this here. A couple of people say that they can see the shape of like an angel. There's about 20, the person that took this photograph, there's another 20 of these photos. And they're all in different shapes, and the person who took it said that they could see this thing flying around the room, physically see it moving. I was actually quite lucky because I got a chance to reenact this, or recreate it, I should say, sorry. Basically, that was my sister that took that, and she's lying in bed, and that's just like a chest of drawers down there kind of thing. She put a jacket over it, and I think that's a leg. Yeah, that is a leg's here, and she was taking this picture, and she looks at the picture because she's trying to capture it, and she finds it and she sees it in the LCD display. She says, "All right, I've got it." So she runs through to my room when I stayed there. She runs through and she'll look at this. I just caught this in camera, and she flicks through. There's about 20 of them. I was like, right, it's to stay there. So I get into the bed, and I says, where exactly were you lying? I was lying exactly where she was. I didn't even, because the camera wasn't even turned off, so it was still in exactly the same setting. You know, like the ISO setting was a little bit different or something like that. It was capturing something, or maybe it was a bit of lens flare, weird lens flare. But I thought, well, maybe. So I was taking pictures, and I didn't pick up on one picture. Not one picture I could recreate like that, and she got about 20 of them. I don't know what that is. That's incredibly weird. But she said it was flying around the room. It was. But again, if anybody's got any explanation, I'd love to hear it, because we can then bump it off our list of things to debunk. That's smoke. Cigarette smoke. You know that way you look at the clouds in your matrix, you just make up patterns. It's exactly the same with that there. So yeah, I think it's important to show you stuff that we've been able to disprove as well. You know, I don't want to sit here and say, oh, it's all, this is all. My friend's the stage excuse me, is the stage manager at the King's Theatre, and he had just finished setting up for somebody, and he says, "Oh, I'll take a picture just so that he likes to record things," and he captured this. It was in an old town hall. I don't know if you can see that here. If you need to come closer and because it's a bit faded, you can do it, you know.
Is that a couple?
I think it looks like somebody helping somebody to see it, or like somebody dances it, because when you look at it, it looks as if they're wearing like a waistcoat type thing.
What's it dancing talking?
Aye, and people, lots of people have said dance. That's probably one of my favourites as well.
Just to tell you a wee bit about it, at the Esmeralda Hotel, there was only 4 of us, that's right Lisa, isn't it? 4 of us that were there. There was myself and Lisa in one room, and Lorraine and Linda and another were right beside each other. And during the night, we were just about to fall asleep, and we heard these noises, and it was somebody walking up and down, and doors banging, and somebody dragging something. So we each thought it was each other, because they woke us up. So we thought it was Lorraine thought it was us, and we walkie-talkie through, and she's like, you know, what you doing? And we're like, that what you doing? She's like, no, it's nothing to do with us. So we thought, right, this is really, really weird. But luckily enough, that night we'd put a dictaphone out in the hallway. So when we went out and we grabbed it, this is what we got, and this is exactly what we heard that night.
Not that. Door handle. What adventure, I guess? Right, this is another EVP. Now there's different classifications of EVP, but I'm not going to go into this, okay? So I don't also want to tell you what we think the sound is, and I must say that what we think it sounds like, okay? Because everybody will make their own mind up. So let me know what you all think, okay? But the team kind of all agreed on what we thought it was, but we don't want to put this into your head, okay? So let's see if you hear anything. What we'll do is I'll put it to the front a little bit. See that little do bit? Don't worry about the do bit. It's this bit here. What we heard, what we heard was I want you to go home. I want to.
It's kind of slang, it's like, I want you.
I want to
I want to.
go
I want to. I want to.
I want to go home. Now, I've said this to you, so you might hear it, but try and...
I thought it says I'm going to go home.
Like... Do you know what? It doesn't actually matter, because see when that was recorded, Nobody spoke. That's the whole point of an EVP session.
Yeah,
Is
you can hear
you
us.
put one of these things down and you go boom, and you ask a question. Can you tell me what year it is? 45 seconds. We leave it. Pure silence, and then that's it. It's fine.
Have you edited that?
What do you
Is
mean?
that the best? Well, you can edit it and you can
Well,
bring
that's
up.
actually a really good question, but we tend not to edit anything. We like to leave everything as it was captured, because if I turn around and I say to you, now we've taken down the hiss and we've done a bit of a noise reduction profile on it, so you'll say, well, so you've altered it really to make it sound. It's 10:20, so I'm conscious of time, so I want to make sure that you do what you are wanting to do, you know. Do you want to see some extra footage stuff that we've caught from Haunted Planet? Because Lee's basically going to, I'm not kidding here, on Halloween this thing airs on YouTube, and it's the trailer that we put out is already, you know, it gathered quite a lot of interest. But as I says, Lee's the director of Haunted Planet TV, and if he's going to let us, you're
Yeah,
going to
see
be the
it.
first people to see this.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding. As I says, I don't even think.
Freak us out before we go
So
on.
I'll show you a couple of things.
Yeah.
I'll show you a couple of things from it. If you've seen that, I'll play it again for you.
Door open.
They've done that on several nights.
Oh,
Door open and closing.
I'm repeating this for you. Sorry.
It's,
Heavy,
yeah,
isn't it?
it's not. It's got a lot of debris by the door, so you can't just
This-
pull it
this
open.
process,
That's
like-
like-
You see it shaking when it stops.
Huh?
Maybe a car passing through outside or anything, shine the
Oh,
light on.
that's
This,
just
is,
a
this,
lot.
is, some of this is in the middle of an estate that
Right.
we couldn't even get to. There's one road, and they had security dogs, and when they had security dogs, so we would know if someone was like, breaking in. This next piece, I'll let you just let me see this wee bit here. This was down. It's quite difficult to see. We need to be quick, but I'll replay it for you. Can you? I'm sorry. Again,
Oh, going down the
I like
stairs
that.
like a wee dog or something.
cracked a ball.
A ball.
Oh, aye, definitely.
Once more for you.